Welcome to some Heat talk, and these next few games are going to be very interesting for our Miami Heat, who have started 3-1 on the season. A tough West Coast road trip is ahead. 4 games on the West Coast. It starts tonight against the San Antonio Spurs, probably the most interesting team in the league, the best team in the league, possibly, with Victor Wembanyama, definitely the best player in the league as of right now. And then it goes on with the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Nuggets, which are, of course, always tough teams in their own. I would say 3 of those teams are definitely stand out from the Lakers, and that's the Clippers, the Nuggets, and the Spurs. The Lakers are missing Luka and missing LeBron. They're most likely going to be missing for on Sunday against the Heat. But other than that, those other 3 teams are like top of the charts, definitely going to be in the playoffs and that top 5 seed in the West. And this is going to be a very interesting stand for the Miami Heat. It's definitely going to show what the Miami Heat are truly about this season, what this style of play is truly about against really, really good teams. Now, these are teams that we're not going to see in the playoffs, of course, but these are teams that are still playing against everybody else in the league and are still really, really good. And it's going to be interesting to see how we play this new style against these good teams. So it starts tonight against the Spurs at 8:30. Victor Wembanyama. Well, I'm going to love to see that. I can't wait to see that. Unfortunately, the Dolphins play at the same time. So we'll be flipping the channel because I want to see how the Heat play against 4-0 Spurs and if they could take that O out of them and make it a 4-1 and make themselves 4-1 also. But Victor Wembanyama, man, he is definitely the MVP leader right now. There is no doubt that Victor Wembanyama is the MVP leader. 31 points, 14 rebounds he's averaging this season. But we do have one of the best defenders in the league in Bam Adebayo, and we do have Khalil Ware to match his size possibly. So this matchup tonight is going to be definitely a huge test to Khalil Ware in the double big lineup, because Khalil Ware has not been really good in my opinion as I've watched him protect the rim. He's not been good protecting the rim. He's been pretty soft around the rim. His touch is also soft on the offensive end. I would like to see go up a little bit more powerfully. But mostly his defense. That's what he's there for. He's there to rebound and defend and also score because he can be a scoring threat. But at most, I want to see how he can guard Victor Wembanyama, because he is one of the few in the league that can match his size and match his length. Of course, he's not as tall as him. Of course, he's not as lengthy as Wemby. No one is. But Khalil Ware's up there with his wingspan and with his size. He is humongous. And we saw in the preseason him hit a step back 3 over Wembanyama. It was going viral, getting people hyped. So I would love to see how Khalil Ware, which I would expect to start tonight, is going to do against Victor Wembanyama, playing defensive-wise, and what he can do on offense. But, I mean, it's going to be real interesting. I believe Norman Powell might be out tonight. I don't know for sure. We'll get to Tyler Herro in a second, and Jovic is game-time decision. But we're here to talk about the 4-game road trip. And then right after that, we have a 2-day break, and then we head to LA for the Lakers. The Lakers are actually been a decent team. They went 2-1 since both Luka and LeBron been out. LeBron's been out the whole season. Luka's been out for the last 3 games. And Austin Reeves has been tremendous. He had a game winner last night. He had 40, and then he had 50 the night before. He had 40. So they've been tremendous, but I believe we can get a dub right there. And if we go 2-2 in this road trip, that would be outstanding. If we can go back home into the play-in shenanigans off of this 4-game road trip, 5-3, I'll be happy, because the Nuggets, the Clippers, and the Spurs are some of the best teams in the league. The Lakers are tough too. You can't underestimate Austin Reeves' ability to carry that team. He had like 30. He had 36 and 14 assists last night. It was insane. He's been really, really putting this team on his back, but I think the Heat will be too much for him. I think the Heat will be able to neutralize Austin Reeves and have other people try to make plays that they're not able to make. And, of course, Luka and I don't think LeBron are playing in this game. Then we go on to Norman Powell's former team on a back-to-back on Monday, the Clippers. The Clippers, really good team. They've been inconsistent, though. They got smoked by the Jazz first game of the season, 2 wins. And then they played the Warriors, who have been probably the best team in the league, right there with the Spurs and the OKC Thunder. They played the Warriors and the game got taken away in the third quarter by Steph Curry and them. But the Clippers still a really good team. James Harden's playing just like he's been playing the last couple seasons. Amazing. Still diming it up. Except against the Warriors. He didn't have much dimes against the Warriors. I don't know what was going on, But every time he passed the ball to somebody, they did not hit. They did not hit their shot. But Kawhi Leonard's still Kawhi Leonard. He's a great defender. Bradley Beal's on their team now. He's been out, I think, the last game. I don't think he's been out the last 2 games. But he's been out 2 games to start the season. Maybe he has been out the last 2 games. But he'll probably be back by Monday. So we'll get to see Norman Powell go against his former team. Hopefully Norman Powell should be fine by Monday. And then we play the Nuggets. The good old Nuggets who we lost to in the 2023 finals. Still hate the Nuggets. Still don't like Jokic. Still don't like Jamal Murray. They don't have Michael Porter nowhere, but they have Cam Johnson. And that's going to be an interesting touch to see how we can see if we can outpace them. See if we can outpace Jokic in them, which is going to be very, very, very interesting. So the Spurs, the Clippers, and the Nuggets game truly have my eye. And that Lakers game we have to win. We have to win that to make this road trip successful. Because if we go 4-0, I'll be on here talking the most immense amount of shit to anybody. And I will go to school, go to work, go everywhere, talking straight Heat basketball and straight Heat shit talk if we go 4-0 on a road trip, even though it's only going to be 8 games into the season. Because that would just be incredible. And I think we have the ability to do that. I think we are one of the better teams in the league. Now, talking about how good we've been on offense, averaging 131.5 points per game in our first 4 games of the season. Talking about Norman Powell coming back for injury. Talking about how great we've been. The big question is, how great are we going to be when Tyler Herro comes back? Tyler Herro, our all-star, our guy from last season, Mr. Do-It-All last season, Wonder Boy. He should be coming back from injury very soon. He took the road trip. This is his first road trip he traveled, and he traveled with the team. And he's been practicing. He was shooting around earlier today, and he should be back very, very soon. When do I expect him back? I expect him back. Honestly, he said himself around the 15th of October, like 2 weeks before the season, he should be back 5 games into the season. So this game is 5 games into the season. Technically, we've been doing so good, he can wait a little bit. I expect him back Monday against the Clippers because we'll be off a back-to-back, and you don't want I'd rather him play against the Lakers on Sunday, but then we'll have to probably sit him on Monday. You don't want him playing a back-to-back coming off injury, right? So it would be a perfect spot would be to get him against the Lakers, the easier teams of the road trip on paper, technically. But you don't want him playing a back-to-back, of course. So I'd say put him against the Clippers, and we can, if someone's out because it's a back-to-back, then we'll have extra bodies put in the rotation, so everybody's not playing the exact same minutes they were playing the night before and playing less minutes. So Tyler Herro could be an extra man on the team on a back-to-back night against the Clippers. So I expect him to be back Monday. That would be my expectation. Now, since we do have 2 days rest in between this game and the next, he could be back Sunday. He probably will be ready by Sunday. But I expect them to start him on Monday. Now, I was interested. I was thinking, what if we just put him off the 6-man, see what happens? Say we're ramping him up, we're loading him in, we're going to fast track him in by putting him through on the bench, coming off as a 6-man. That would be very interesting, but I expect Tyler Herro to be back. My prediction is he's going to be back this road trip. Norman Powell will be back this road trip probably by Sunday. I don't know if he's going to play. He might play today, Norman Powell. But Tyler Herro, I expect him to be back Monday against the Clippers. Or if not, then Wednesday against the Nuggets. But other than that, man, tough 4-game road trip. Let's see what happens. I'll be back here after the Spurs game. And I expect we go 2-2. I'm not going to overhype 4 games into the season this road trip. I'm not going to put too much of an expectation and be wrong on the Heat coming off of this road trip. I expect 2-2. Whether we get 1 here or we get 2, I think we get 1 against the Lakers and we get 1 against the Spurs or the Nuggets. I don't know if we win both back-to-back nights. Hopefully we do. Hopefully we go 4-0. That's the hope. But I expect 2-2. Going to be a big, big test for Khalil Ware tonight. And then we'll see when Tyler Herro comes back in this road trip. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Tough 4 games. But keep a lookout. The Heat, they might be the best team in the league.